So my name is Basma Bishay, or B Bishay as I'm known online. I'm 33 years old. I'm Egyptian and I'm a writer. I decided to do Substack towards the end of last year on a more serious level. I think I started my Substack, I guess, a little over a year ago, but never actually took it seriously. And then towards the end of last year, I figured, okay, this is definitely where I want to be. This is the most important thing for me. Um, did I say 32? I'm 33. Thanks, Farah. Um, yeah, and I just decided that the most important thing for me to do was to write because this is truly the only thing I have ever known to be true about myself is that I'm a writer. So um, I've just decided to kind of commit to this and take it seriously. And ever since then, I feel like Substack has completely changed my life. It's given me an outlet. It's given me a place to show up as myself. It's given me a place to express myself and show up truly as the person that I am, with all my thoughts and every single thing that goes on in my head and also that goes on in my life. And speaking of my life, the last few years have been pretty difficult. Um, Towards the end of last year was when the worst of the worst things happened, and I lost my mom. And I've been trying to navigate what it means to be a person and what it means to exist, even with all this loss and all this pain. And I found Substack to be the perfect place for that, the place where I can show up and process and know that it's a safe kind of nook of the internet. I think the thing that catalyzed me to go back to substacking a lot more seriously was that last year in April, I went to London for a workshop with Liz Gilbert. She's always been an idol of mine. I genuinely am so inspired by her. I adore her. I look up to her in every way. And so getting to go to that conference, that workshop, was just the biggest blessing ever. And she mentioned her Letters from Love, her Love Lets Substack. And I remembered, I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to join that. And I don't know why I never did. So I did. I joined her community and was like, wow, there is so much that can be done through Substack. You can genuinely be a writer in the 21st century. In 2024 it was last year, but also 2025. You can be a serious writer without having published books yet, without anything, just by being a writer and taking this craft seriously. And so that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to join Substack. And ever since then, my newsletter subscribers have increased. I have gained people who have now become like a very safe space for me to come and express every single thing that I'm feeling and every single thing that I'm doing. So if you're one of those people, then I just want to say thank you. And I just think we live in a day and age where it's so important to slow down. We have been like force fed, very fast paced content and things on Instagram and on whatever other platform, TikTok and all that stuff. And it's all really fast and it's all very entertainmenty. And I fear that we're losing the ability to sit with ourselves and confront our feelings and face our problems and all that stuff. And Substack counteracts that. And I think that's incredible. It's incredible that Substack counteracts that we now have a platform that's online as well. It's on our phones, it's online, everything like that, that is accessible. And you can reach for Substack and read someone's thoughts and read, things that can actually inspire you and open your brain and open your heart and all that stuff. Um, Without it being just like clickbaity and fast and all that stuff. You can now go on Substack when you're on the toilet instead of scrolling Instagram or whatever. Which brings me also to my other problem with Instagram. Towards the end of November, um, I I felt like, oh my god, actually the start of November. I was like, this is too much. I don't want to be on Instagram anymore. It feels like everyone's life is so perfect. Everyone's life seems super curated. And even though in my brain I knew this wasn't true, still, when you're going through a difficult time, um, and all you can see is people living their lives to the grandest, fullest of, blah, 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 you can't help but feel like you're doing something wrong, or like, there's no space for you. There's no place for you in this world. And that's exactly how I felt. And so I deleted Instagram and decided to focus on my real life instead. And then I came back to Instagram and decided to acknowledge that this is the space. And sometimes you need this, like, this space to empty your brain completely. But you can also use it as a way by which to make a difference. And you can change the game if that's what you want. But I decided that my home would ultimately be Substack, because this is where the meaningful work happens. Um, yeah, and so that's why I'm on Substack. Um, I am very big on journaling, very big on sitting with your thoughts, really big on processing, and on being introspective in a world where, like I said, everything is so fast and it all just happens so quickly. Making it so that you carve out time to be introspective and to look within is very rare, and it's very hard now that our attention spans have, like, really narrowed down, but it's still very, very important. And so I talk a lot about journaling. I offer journaling prompts with every single one of my newsletters, in the hopes that, you don't just read my newsletters, but can also engage with them on a very personal level. And I think that's very, very valuable. It's something I love when writers provide journaling prompts, and so I figured I would do the same. Um, and a lot of my writing comes from is like the fruit of my time by myself, is the fruit of introspection, and yeah, just solo figuring out time, solo introspection time. Um, so yeah, I really have very high hopes for my Substack. I have hopes that, um, as the title suggests, that it can be a good corner, because that's what my Substack is called. It can be a good corner where we can talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between, every single thing like that, because we're people. We're three-dimensional. There's so much that goes on. There's so much that we experience. It's never like a 2D situation. And because of that, I write about everything. I don't have like a niche, so to speak. I don't just do cooking or whatever, or like book reviews, or, any of the famous, popular niches. I talk about what it means to be a person, what it means to be a human. And I'm enjoying it very, very much. I'm enjoying connecting with every single person who leaves a comment, every single person who messages me. Um, because that's how we know we're not alone. That's how we know that our human experience matters, and that talking about our human experience is what makes other people feel less alone. Not by curating the perfect version of ourselves to share with the world, but to share exactly who we are, all our facets, our difficulties, our anxieties, our fears, but also our celebrations, our happy moments. When moments click for us, when things make sense finally, all of that makes us human. It's a whole spectrum of emotions and feelings and thoughts and personality traits and everything. And so that's exactly what I do. I talk about everything, everything. Um, yeah, and my hope is that it's going to be a good corner, a safe space for people to come as they are and read about a life as it is. So yeah, I'm going to be saving this video. I still have no idea how to do that. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to save it and then probably upload it as well. And I wanted to take your opinion if you've made it this far. I used to have a podcast, and I connected with so many people through that podcast, and I felt like it actually made a difference. And I miss it. I do miss it. I just feel like I have so much on my plate. But then I figured, what if I incorporate the podcast into my Substack and have that be something that I do on a weekly basis, but live? so that people can interact with me. So it's not just, a podcast where you're listening to it, but it's also you can interact and comment and ask questions, and that can be the new thing that I do. So whether you were someone who listened to the podcast in the past, or if you feel like it would be a good idea to have like a live podcast where we chit chat and we talk and all that stuff, let me know if you think that would be a good idea for me to, on a weekly basis, just hop on live and talk about something as we interact together in the comments. So, yeah, hope you have a beautiful rest of your Saturday. And I'm going to go tend to my dough in 10 minutes, but I need to get some writing done before that. So, I'll see you soon.